Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode here on F122. This time we're starting a new mini-series of the F122 NASCAR Formula NASCAR mod here with a 5-race mini-season starting with the Miami GP here for the first time on this circuit that we get to try out this mod. This mod was actually made by Strongest Fish. I'll link the mod in the description so you can go check it out. He's also got a YouTube channel, by the way, that you can check out that I'll link down there in the description. But here we are, ready to do our first event here in this F122 Formula NASCAR mod. I've tried this mod out before in F1 2021. A lot of fun. I just never really got around to really doing anything with it. So we're at least going to try and make this a little series here and see where it goes here with this first race in Miami now, as it's going to be 5-lap races here. Now, one issue I did notice with the mod is I have to have it on realistic performance. When I put it on equal performance for all the cars, it would not work whatsoever. So you're going to notice that we're on realistic performance here, which means that some cars towards the back might actually start to fall off, especially when they're battling each other. But we're ready to go green here for this first race of this Formula NASCAR F122 Championship. It's Verstappen and Perez up front with the Red Bulls. You got the Mercedes of Russell and Hamilton up there as well. And it's not going to take long to get crazy. You already see some 3x3 action here now, looking like a Daytona Talladega-esque kind of scenario there going down into turn 1 now, as everyone's going to scrap it out here. 3 wide up front. Here comes Lewis Hamilton here. We're used to saying here comes Sebastian Vettel. No, here comes Lewis Hamilton, or should I say through goes Hamilton after the Silverstone GP now, as they're all scrambling out wheel to wheel, as you see the Haas duo of Magnussen as well as Schumacher there in the midfield. I was in the midfield as well, so I had some work to do here to make sure I don't lose connection with the main pack here now, as it could very well get split into 2, maybe even 3 packs, depending on how hard everybody's racing by the end of this race here. Down this long straightaway, 4 wide with the Red Bulls and Mercedes, Russell and Hamilton on the outside, Perez and Verstappen in the middle there. What a sandwich that is. You see the Ferraris of Leclerc and Sainz trying to scrap it out, as well as we get so slow through this uphill chicane here. Yellow flags come out. We're going down to about 35 miles per hour was the lowest we ended up hitting right there. And actually, I'm going to lose a little bit of connection here with Mick Schumacher and the Haas, and you're going to see the gap open up. So I didn't actually have his slipstream, so I throw a bit of a defensive move right there. Magnussen kind of weave around there. Magnussen's going to blow by. Here comes Fernando Alonso here in the Alpine up the inside as well. 4 wide again up there in front of us here now as we head into the braking zone. 3 wide in the middle. Some fantastic racing here now, but we remain wheel to wheel with the 2-time world champion here of Alonso. But we actually get ahead, but it's not going to last for long because I still have no slipstream. They're over 2 seconds ahead there in front of us now, so we would have to really just kind of scrap it out with Alonso and Magnussen. But thankfully we come through the slower speed section of the course, and there we're battling so hard up in front of us that we were quickly closing the gap, and we were hoping that we would get within slipstream range here on this long straightaway, and that's exactly what would happen. You see myself literally pushing Alonso through the corner, saying, hey Fernando, let's get going here, let's pick up the pace a little bit now, as we're going to go to the right side of him. And I noticed another thing with the handling in this F122 Formula NASCAR mod, the more slipstream you get, the less the car turns. So there was moments in this race where the car just simply would not turn, and you're going to see that here, especially on the straightaways. We actually, after all of this chaos here, had a 2-car breakaway, and it was Lewis Hamilton as well as Sergio Perez. So Checo and Lewis up there all by themselves, actually driving away from the pack, and that's always been a thing where if you can kind of break away from that slipstream here, you can really run away, and that's exactly what they did on just lap 2 of this GP of 5 laps. Only a big defensive move right there on Fernando, and he's going to go back to the right side, but up ahead of us is 4 wide again. You got an AlphaTauri there in the midst. That's Yuki Tsunoda right there in the middle of that battle, but on the outside you got a Ferrari. You got everybody here. You got the AlphaTauri, the Red Bull, the Mercedes, the Ferrari, all scrapping it out here now as we head down this front straightaway again. 4 wide. There goes Carlos Sainz, the Spaniard, the British GP winner, up the inside of Leclerc down into turn 1. He wants to get that final podium position as Perez and Hamilton continue to scrap it out. We're right in this battle now as well. They were going at it so hard. 2 laps complete, 3 laps to go, and look at the momentum we have here into the top 10. They're passing our team at Valtteri Bottas now, as we're actually going to make contact there with the back of Gasly. We get sideways and actually get a little bit of a push from Bottas and somehow continue going in the right direction, as you can tell, and for good reason. Damages on for this little mini series here now as we are continuing to run in 10th place as we go down this long straightaway. Now you're going to see what I'm talking about with the car not turning. I have to actually slow way down because the car just refused to turn, and it gets tougher and tougher to turn, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. It went straight into the wall right there, but we go all the way up into P3 in one straightaway from just P10. I actually overshoot the braking zone, give up a spot to Verstappen as well. well as Carlos Sainz, and we settle in behind them for the time being here as we head up to the chicane side by side with Charles Leclerc. I didn't really want to give Leclerc the spot, so we're going to stay side by side, wheel to wheel, elbows out with the Monegascan driver. And actually, as we exit the corner, though, we're going to get ahead of Charles and try to run back down Sainz and Verstappen, who were able to actually break out of the slipstream, so they might be able to run away as well here. Leclerc powers past Russell on the left side. Schumacher over there 4 wide again here as we go down into the braking zone. That's insane, the amount of 4 wide that you see here in this Formula NASCAR F122 mod here at this Miami circuit. So much fun though this mod is. I'm having an absolute blast here now all over the back of Leclerc, and once again the car didn't want to turn the best here as we're going to go around the outside off the circuit a little bit there, trying to complete that pass on Russell there. Yellow flags come out into turn 1. Nothing actually happened. It was just because of how slow things got there, I guess, into the corner, because everything was actually okay here. But we are back into now the 7th position now as Tsunoda is all over the back of us here into the left and right sweeping handers here. And then we go into this next left-hander, and actually Sainz and Verstappen were surprisingly not driving away from us. Everybody was actually able to run them down. So Perez and Hamilton, they're still long gone, battling it out with each other, but you can see we had a bit of a separation now. We kind of have 3 different packs going all of a sudden here now. Oh, there it is right there. Car does not turn, but then we have a ton of momentum. We're just using the wall at this point as our assist here, and we managed to pass everybody. I take a very defensive line into the braking zone, and we hold on briefly to P3 3 wide behind us here through this sweeping right-hander. I would not want to be 3 wide whatsoever through there. Side by side, it's not even fun when you're just 2 by 2 or 2 wide, as we now actually build up a decent gap, about 1.5 seconds between myself and Sainz, as well as Verstappen nearly 2 seconds back, and Leclerc is actually scrapping it out with Verstappen. So I thought I was in the clear, but I was wrong. They were very, very quickly closing in on me with the DRS assistance here. Look at the pace that Verstappen, Sainz, and Leclerc have as they're 3 wide down into the braking zone again, come to the final lap, and they all lunge up my inside here. We were at least 3 wide. We might have been 4 wide actually there into the braking zone here now as we continue side by side. We're going to get onto the curb and sideways, and a huge save there as we start the final lap of this Miami GP with this Formula NASCAR series underway down into turn 1, and it's just myself, Verstappen, Sainz, Leclerc, and Russell in this main pack here, and then it's Hamilton and Perez ahead, and then you got Gasly on back behind us as we continue to scrap it out here for this podium position. Now everyone's fighting for the podium spots. I completely botched this corner, and I go way off here now, trying to rejoin safely here without causing any incidents. Fortunately we do, and we're gonna have 1 long straightaway here, and then of course we got that 2nd long straightaway as well to go through one final time, and we're gonna easily pass Leclerc. He has no defense whatsoever there, with no slipstream help and no DRS. Surprisingly, we're holding off Carlos Sainz relatively well here into the braking zone. He's going to get behind us. He's going to make a move up the inside. He's going to go for it here, a lunge up the inside. Wheel to wheel might have been a little bit of a lockup right there from Carlos here as we continue wheel to wheel now through this tight and windy and slow speed area, through the chicane, the uphill chicane, one final time here under the overpass, the highways for the final time. That's honestly one of my favorite parts of this racetrack. It just looks so cool as we head down the straightaway now, and actually we got a bit of a break right there. It's myself and Carlos who are going to scrap it out for the final podium position. Perez, Hamilton scrapping it out for the race victory here now as we continue side by side with the Spaniard into the heavy braking zone for the final time. Who's going to win the race? We go wide. We miss our braking zone. Perez is going to win here in Miami. We have 1 more shot to get Sainz here. We're going to even use the off track to our advantage, and I believe we beat Sainz at the finish. Yes, we did. We get 3rd as Zhou Guanyu here in this first race at Miami in this Formula NASCAR series. And take a look at the finish between Perez and Lewis Hamilton right here. It was actually a photo finish. They were wheel to wheel through the final corner. It looked like it might go in the way of Lewis here, but then Perez just had to run off, and none of them have slipstream to work with here, and Hamilton is going to lose by just centimeters right there. And then myself and Carlos, I had enough slipstream right there to go and abuse the track limits pretty hard and just barely get him for P3 at the line. Now, as you can see, the rest of the cars that were coming through to cross the line here, and Lando Norris, Vettel, Latifi, and Ricciardo all at the back of the grid. What an opening round of this 5 race series here. Hopefully we can do multiple seasons if it works out well enough, but if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Next episode, I don't even remember where the 2nd race is. It might be Baku. I believe it is Baku at Azerbaijan, so that should be a fun one. If you enjoyed, like I said, you know what to do. Thank you all for taking the time of your day for watching, and I'll see you guys for round number 2 in the next one. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, everybody.